Tyranny is the dragon's iron crown, not worn in glory, but wielded in domination. It begins in the body with physical control. The dragon understands that the first step toward breaking a people is to make them obey before they understand why. It builds walls not just of stone, but of soldiers and laws, controlling movement, rationing resources, and making every act of daily life dependent on permission. It replaces free choice with forced compliance, creating a reality where resistance is costly and compliance is rewarded. Physically, tyranny is enforced through spectacles of power. The dragon parades its strength to inspire both fear and inevitability, vast armies in perfect step, banners blotting out the horizon, punishments carried out in public squares. It uses scarcity as a weapon, deciding who eats, who works, who lives in comfort, and who suffers in deprivation. Its control over the material world makes rebellion seem impossible. The body is kept too weary to dream of freedom. Yet the dragon knows that true tyranny is not only about the body, it is about the spirit. Once the spirit bends, the chains become invisible. Spiritually, the dragon rewrites truth itself. It controls what can be said, what can be thought, what stories are told. It creates a moral inversion in which obedience to power becomes righteousness, and questioning that power becomes treason. Through lies repeated as law, it turns free minds into silent allies. The dragon poisons symbols, twisting once sacred ideas to serve its reign. It may drape itself in holy language, claiming divine right while committing blasphemy against the very principles it claims to uphold. It breeds despair by convincing people that no alternative exists, that the dragon has always ruled and always will. In this way, tyranny does not only rule through force, it rules through the crushing of imagination. The spiritual tyranny deepens as the dragon isolates individuals from one another, fostering mistrust so that solidarity dies before it can be born. It controls education, ensuring that history remembers only the victories and wisdom of the dragon's reign. In the most advanced stages, the people begin to police themselves, internalizing the dragon's rules so fully that rebellion feels unnatural. This is the dragon's masterpiece, a world where it no longer needs to crush dissent, because dissent no longer exists. And yet, for all its power, tyranny is never eternal. It is always a structure that must be maintained, a cage that must constantly be repaired. The dragon fears the one thing it cannot forge in fire or legislate into existence: the unyielding will of a free heart. The oak's counter: self-sovereignty against tyranny. The dragon's tyranny thrives on dependency. It wants the slayer to need its permission, its resources, its validation. The antidote to this is self-sovereignty, the deep-rooted knowledge that authority begins within and radiates outward. Dare, the oak, teaches that no one can truly command you without your consent. When you stand in your own ground mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you become untouchable to the chains of fear and coercion. Self-sovereignty is not isolation, it is self-possession. It means that the core of your choices, your will, and your values remain under your guardianship. Even if the dragon controls outer circumstances, it cannot command the truth of your being. This internal freedom becomes the foundation for all other freedoms. Like the oak, whose roots hold the earth as firmly as its branches reach the sky, self-sovereignty connects your inner stability with your outward strength. Dare counters the dragon not by fighting on its terms, but by denying it the foothold of ownership over your spirit. A tyrant cannot rule what it cannot reach, and when the seat of your decision-making is rooted in your own integrity, the dragon's decrees become noise on the wind. This is not rebellion for its own sake. It is alignment with the natural law that each soul is the steward of its own path. The oak whispers, Stand as your own king, whether in the quiet refusal to surrender your truth or in the loud declaration of your independence. Self-sovereignty dissolves the dragon's dominion. Tyranny may break the body, but it cannot conquer the rooted heart that knows who it is and will not bow. The oak's gift is the unshakable remembrance that you were born free and that freedom begins and ends with the crown you place upon your own soul.